Hmm. Hey, what's up, Carl? Good to see you. Finally got this. Hey, finally got my this MacBook working. Well, it's not actually a MacBook, but it's a mix of an Android, yeah, an Android looking PC as well as a MacBook. Oh, that's good to hear. But yeah, I know I said I was gonna, do this stream earlier around 6:30, but I let time get away, and so I figured, hey, I can always, get schedule it for later. But other than that, I've been pretty good, and I do want to give before we really get into the meat and potatoes. Um, First off, I am gonna say, hey, congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles winning the Super Bowl. You know, at least Jalen Hurts was able to even the score, and we're gonna dive right into that um, as well as some of the halftime performances. B- Hey, Jose, how you doing? Hey, y'all can hear me, right? Fly, Eagles, fly. So now, what's his name can't say the Eagles don't have wings and they no longer can be clipped. And y'all know what I mean in reference. And also, am gonna give a shout outs to for Chris Brown as well as Beyonce for winning their Grammy Awards for this year. And like I said, no matter what we do, you gonna get some backlash regardless, because some of these people are just so wrapped up and wound up in their own emotions that they can't seem to just snap out of it. Hell, even in the forms of being MLS. Yeah. Yeah, for his CB won um for his album 1111, and for the best performer and the best performer and best performance, I think. But yeah, though, but yeah, though, but I'm not gonna sit here and act like, again, I haven't been, paying attention, see what everybody else has been talking about regarding watching certain content creators' videos, and they hit it on the head. Um, More so. Oh man, hey, one of the oh, you know what? That's the thing too, because I normally will hear it listening to either Pandora or Spotify. And I think if you like type in his name, he has the most downloads or the most streamed on Spotify or just services in general. But yeah, though, but let me get into it. But even but nah though, but when they won their Grammys though, I was reading some headlines that they got some hate and backlash out of this world. It's ridiculous. Like they still want to hold Chris Brown accountable for what he did back then with Rihanna. And I'm like, we're in year 2025. And yes, he was canceled for a while. But here's the thing. You never, it's like, it's funny how the man could still, again, put a song out and put an album out. You're still gonna listen to it, you're still gonna buy it. Now, I'm not saying, again, what he did back then was the right thing to do, nor would I ever condone that. But yet you still got, numerous deviants in the world, and yet they get all types of support. But that's neither here nor there. Like I said, so much you can do. It's like, yeah, it's like, you could be part of the industry, but you don't win no rewards. Yeah, I saw a TikTok that said MLS men are infantile, they're not held accountable for fuck shit they do. I'm like, yeah, yeah, Carl. Like, I think yeah, I feel the same way. Even I'm like, throwing up my hands. I'm like, y'all, you hold us up to us accountable and to a standard that they themselves normally don't live by. They mentioned CB and what he did, like you said. Oh yeah, regarding the regarding the Rihanna thing. But like I said, they got a laundry list of dudes that do worse, but the same type of smoke isn't really being held for them. It's like they get a free pass, and I guess we'll just never know. And by any means, but then again, by any means, sorry about that, y'all. Just had to straighten myself up. And I say to these people, what? There's nobody's job really for Chris Brown or hell, even me or anybody that's watching the stream right now to know that it's like it make you happy unless you see those exact same people, floundering in their misery. Because as the saying goes, that Mr. Misery still loves company. But yeah, we still got bigger problems on our hands, and yeah. And now Beyonce, yeah, she won her Grammy for the Cowboy Carter album. And I'm like, and the hate that she got for that, like even in the comments and even in certain headlines, you just go, like, are you serious right now? Again, I'm not saying you gotta be a Beyonce fan. You don't. But those other strong opinions, you'd be better off just keeping them to yourselves. But you know what? Everybody wants to be heard. Everybody's definitely got to have something to say. Like as the saying go, everybody has an asshole, and everyone, and they all stink. Well, and I was trying my best not to cuss, but they forced my hand. But yeah, because again, it's like, what do you expect these people to do just to go home, pack it up, and make stuff that and do stuff that's mediocre to make yourself feel good, yeah, you gotta feel like I saw a comment that on someone's video where they said, they have a power and ego trip to make themselves feel superior to others. I'm like, the mental illness is real. It is very real. Again, there are certain people who I don't like, but I'm not going to dedicate all my time and energy going to the extreme as far as degrading them personally, their skin tone, ethnicity, simply because I can. I will never get that and I will never understand it. But but having said all that, now we're gonna go into a little bit of the Super Bowl. Yes, Kansas City, Philadelphia, and the Eagles show did fly. And like I said, again, I was, in a way happy that the Eagles, evened the score. And even if they didn't, I could have lived with that. Now, I could say what probably did lead to Kansas City scoring the points later on in the fourth quarter, but there's a certain crowd that I really don't want to. I mean, I do, but their feathers will easily get ruffled. And and again, and I was watching Light Skin History's channel, and he even talked about that in a video regarding Jalen Hurts, how people are want to so quick to want to bring him to the black side simply because I think they really don't want Pac to overtake. Yeah, you know what? That I said the same thing too. But then there's another issue. Um, I also believe it does have something to do with someone who they're connected to politically. Because again, if it's not Patrick Mahomes, or even if it's not Jalen Hurts, or even if it's not Lamar Jackson or any. Yeah, Jalen is MLS, and I just found out his wife is Brazilian and black. Yes. And so now you get these folks that are just desperate to want to bring them back over on their side because, for some reason, it's like our success is their success. But you flip flop. But then again, there's a bunch of flip flopping and double standards of you can't succeed without me and I won't let you, but we can do it and we don't need your help. It's ugh. You're just pretty much just throwing your hands up and doing face palms 24/7. Oh, and I also forgot, hey yo, make sure y'all, also hit the thumbs up if you like. If you don't, well, you don't have to. But yeah, it's still gonna, again, hey, even for us, it's still gonna take, unfortunately, a lot of time till we really see the results that we want. Hold on just a sec. Okay, give me a minute. Okay, got it. I do think that saying that you're black culturally is fine if that's where you're at. But the back and forth gaslighting within the space and lack of acknowledgement of racial diversity. Oh yeah. Most definitely, man. I've been thinking, you pretty much took the words out of pretty much took the words right out of my mouth. And I say that, again, it's that heavy gaslighting that really just sets up a storm. It really does. And then you wonder why the oh yeah, the All-Star game is to yeah, the All-Star game is tonight. Okay, so it's Team Shaq and Team Candace. Matter of fact, I want to see who it's interesting to see who they both got on their team. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I just saw the results. And you know what? And they always competing, going back and forth with one another, Shaq and Candace Parker. Even though Candace Parker remind me of somebody that I used to live in the that used to live in my old neighborhood when I used to live down in the South. She was just I think Candace is just a little taller though, but she was 5'11", 6 foot zero. This girl that used to live in my neighborhood. Oh, what's going on, Irby? Long time no see. Hey, y'all mind if I happen to somewhere show y'all something later, like later on? And this and what this is kind of like one of my brokerages. One of my brokerage account. As far as like, again, like what I've been doing when I'm not because I was gonna do this, again a long time ago, but my previous computer that I had, um, it got messed up and I really couldn't do much on that one. So I figured, hey, since I got a new computer last year for my birthday, this would be the proper time for me to go ahead and give y'all a little peek. But yeah, though, hey, but nah, but how was everybody's I don't know if y'all celebrated it, but if y'all I don't know what y'all did on Valentine's Day. If y'all did anything great, if not, well, hey, it's still going. So I had people saying that Valentine's Day is not the day for them. And we all know where that stems from. I rested, didn't want to be forced out again. No, I don't think anybody want to be forced out again or ever. Oh yeah, hey, you know what, Irby? We was just talking about that. We was talking about that a little bit, and my thing is, is it? And I was also, again hearing rumblings of there were a lot of L's taken regarding MLS men, and I'm like, how? And again, and even though Light Skin History pointed that out, even I'm like, how was that so? And yet we were the most talked about within the last 24, 48, 72 hours. Yeah, St. Valentine's sacrifice. I'm not reading the rest. I'm not reading the rest of that. Cause that oh that there's a tick there's a TikTok video of DS Bros making their own Valentine's Day just for themselves, looking. Oh yes, oh my God, they still doing that. They still doing that rubbish. But yeah, but we're supposed to be the so-called feminine ones. I'm like, who y'all competing again? Ladies, just so y'all know, this is who y'all competing against. And by the way, Drake's still making music. But yet, All of us, but then again, we supposed to be taking the L's. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Y'all talk hell. Y'all talk about self-esteem based justification. Hmm. Hey, you know what? It's been so long since I've even done a stream, so I'm gonna be kind of rusty. So y'all bear with me. Oh, but yeah, though, but there was this one dude, um, what's his name? Mac McClung, who won the dunk contest. 3P. He the first one to. And yeah, and he did a Blake Griffin. And I think he also did a Griffin kind of dunk too. I'm like, yo, you talk about our influences. Oh, that over that K5 card dunk was clean. Yep. There did the Blake Griffin. See, we got influence. We got status. We got clout. We got talent. So the idea that, again, nobody ain't, idolizing or looking. But now you can say, oh, well, he may not, well, whether he may or may not be a Blake Griffin fan, okay, fine. But still doesn't mean that he did something that Blake Griffin did. But yeah, though, hey, but anybody want to come up and chat it up a bit, or do y'all just want to just again just kick it in the chat? Honestly, if things gets worse in this country, will be the tale on how much it does now, but in the near future, oh yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, and if it isn't really headed that way, all right then, cool, cool. Oh, what's going on, Jose?
First of all, good evening, AMR. Happy belated New Year and happy belated Valentine's Day. And thank you for allowing me on your platform.
Thank you.
So, basically, I'm just home relaxing. It's a long weekend. The weather's kind of messy in New York. We had some slight snow, then they change the freezing rain. So I'm just relaxing.
Oh yes, that's always a good thing, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to see you out here. Doing the stream. I know it's been a while since you actually did a live.
Yeah, I had computer issues because I was normally using my phone the majority of the time, and I was wanting to also see if I could, work and play around with some silly media assets, like trying to share screen, like trying to share a different screen and try to view that using my phone. But I didn't think that that was possible because now I got a new computer. Um, I won't have those set of issues getting in my way.
Well, lately I've been doing my lives not just on YouTube and Facebook, but also on Instagram.
Okay, cool, cool.
You know, because I'm not exactly the most tech savvy person in the world. I'm like I'm old as dirt. But I learned to do a couple of things.
I'm sorry, Jose, but I didn't understand that. I'm sorry. I was trying to like not to, get laugh at that, but just the way that you said it, because again, you already have people that will still, get attack you based for that, even though you're just, you know, making it, you're just making a joke. But at the same time, but then again, you know where you stand.
I have been called everything by a certain character. So it's like either I'm too old or I'm senile or I don't practice dental hygiene or I have an STD. I'm broke. No one loves me.
We've all, hey, I've gotten that too.
Yeah.
I've gotten that too. Maybe not the hygiene part, but I've had my fair share of jabs and insults thrown my way. Also,
And is the crazy part is that I don't mention anything about my ops because I don't want to give them any shine, what have you. But I mean, it's the same thing. It's that I'm guilty of associating with certain people that certain people cannot get along with.
right?
And my philosophy has always been the same. If you're cool with me, I'm cool with you.
And but you know what though, and then I also started to think that them in the them it might be and again, and one of the reasons get even for me is that even those people that you share, again, you share affiliations with or even your platform with, and to me it seems like it's like anybody that does anything with them, they're just out here just wanting to either ruin your life or YouTube. And I'm like, YouTube is a social media platform. You would think you would try to do something by teaching someone or go back and educate, but instead they make it seem like you committed a crime last year and they never let you live that down.
But you know what the crazy thing is? You have some of these, and I'm going to use the term character because they carry on with beefs that go back 2, 3, 4 years ago.
Right.
Okay, it's like it's 2025. Can we just move on? I mean, are you still harping over stuff that happened 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and and then producing all clips regarding stuff that they did years ago? Come on.
and I had someone also say to me that not everybody's going to be satisfied. Nobody is going to be happy regardless of what you do. And
Mhm. Look, at age 62, I developed a serious case of I don't care itis. So,
yeah, but again, with that being said, you know, again, for me, I'm just like, again, just like, again, just trying to, get do things, change things for the better, again, even though it's 2025. And I'm, and in a way, I'm kind of happy and been blessed, regarding some things that I may not want it to have happen. Maybe the election, that was a big one. And then again with me and my because again I did have a personal incident before 2025.
mhm. Well, look, when it comes to the election last year, let's keep it a buck. I mean, first of all, you know, we had someone like Donald Trump who had let's us say he had a checkered past, so to speak. Okay, plus the fact that his cognitive skills has been declining seriously, and then you had Joe Biden, whose cognitive decline was even worse, and then you have Kamala Harris, and so we didn't have a lot of great pickings to pick as far as who's going to occupy 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. So you have to make the lesser of two evils, unless you decide to vote for a third party candidate, which basically means that that person doesn't have too much of a chance of winning. Good evening, Carl, and good evening, Irby, in the chat.
Hey, good evening, guys.
What's going on, bro? No, Carl.
He might be experiencing some technical
Yeah,
difficulties.
probably.
I mean, I don't know how often. Uh, okay, you know what? I don't. Let's just say he had getting technical difficulties, because who knows what's going on. But I
And
mean, look, go ahead. I'm sorry.
well, you know what? I've had my fair again. I've had also had those issues as well. Um, even just using my phone, or I press a wrong button that I really didn't mean to, and then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, how do I get back to this tab? And then even if I step into a certain area that may not have the best quality. Oh, okay, all right. He said that was him,
Okay.
but yeah, though. But then again, again, because like I said, again, I was just, I just got numb to just using my phone for streaming
Mhm.
purposes. I mean, I know people back in the day that they was also doing some streaming from their phones, and because they may have not have had the best access to a PC.
Wow. I'm sure you was not trying to use an Obama form to do your lives.
No, no, I'm superior than the Obama phone.
Look, look, believe me, I have had issues as far not so much with my equipment, but with my Wi-Fi. But things have been pretty things have been pretty good the last few months, and it's not easy to to create content on a regular basis.
Right.
Because look, let's keep it real. We all have lives outside of YouTube. We all work, we have responsibilities, there may be relationships involved. So obviously, if you have all that going on, you're not always going to have the time and the energy to create content.
Right.
Okay, so it's understandable. It's understandable. I just that I don't know how people can do 5 hour streams, 6 hour streams, 7 hour streams. It's like, do you guys actually have a life?
Well, you know what? Again, like, and I'm the, again, like, I'm the last person to throw stones like that in the sense of, again, like I was saying before, again, I'm kind of rusty because it's been so kind of long for me that I actually went live, but um, I try not to make them, I try not to make them, that long anyway, because again, I also gotta accommodate that people have our own different time zones. I know it may be morning or real late where other folks are at, depending on where they're at.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I try to, give them that, even though I probably shouldn't, but I do try to give them that much wiggle room. But yeah, though, but I see that that you was also doing some streaming yourself regarding some
Somewhat.
myths.
Yeah. Well, you know why? Because a lot of people have some misconceptions. Like one of the streams I did was actually misregarding mulattoes. Okay. And first of all, I stated from the jet that I'm not an expert, and everything was based purely on my own observations and my interaction with mulattoes. Okay, so I just simply say, you know what? First of all, the term is not an offensive term. It just basically all it is that the person is the offspring of an African parent and a Caucasian parent. That's all it means.
No, I see. Okay, see that we got Carl back on the.
Hello?
Oh
Yes.
yes, Carl, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. I had on my phone, I had to go through the Safari. On my iPhone, I had to go through the Safari website to get, or the browser to get on, because I guess it wasn't linked to my, for some reason, when I hit the link in your comment section, it didn't lead me to StreamYard being connected to this my YouTube account. So I had to just go in. I guess that's just a non-linked account or whatever, and then just put my name in. But anyways, what's going on? Just listening in. Yeah, just listening in, man. I just so yeah, so you were saying overall about MLS excellence.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes.
For me, it's showing up at the right time, ain't it? Black History Month showed up right on time, didn't it? Yeah,
Yeah.
right when they needed it the most. Time.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. And
yeah.
you know what though, and I also forgot to touch on this one thing too. I probably should have brought up Aaron Pierre,
Mm,
who's this new sensational actor who they've
yes.
been like going back and forth with him. And I'm like, he didn't even do anything. Like you're going at him because y'all see that he's trending and that he might end up getting the Green Lantern role.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I know Anthony Mackie is the he's the Captain America, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's par for the course. Well, it's good for him. That'd be
But then
cool
again,
deal.
it's like when you have a certain, it's like when you have a certain someone of a certain representation. Oh, they all jump. Hey, yeah, yeah, wonderful masses. But then when it's the other way around regarding us, then it's oh, we
That's
want to,
nice.
yeah.
Yes, that's give them a nice little pat on the back. That's nice. That's cute. Yes, it's like, how can I say? It's like they get the acknowledgement without the acknowledgement in a way. It's kind of like a secondhand acknowledgement type of deal. Low energy acknowledgement. Halfway, if you will, lukewarm, whatever you want to call it. So I mean, that's just a part of our lives. Overall, like you just expect that. You don't expect anything more. You see.
Mhm.
So when you lower that expectations of others for what you were raised to believe or what society tells you you should be looking for, then that's when the work, that's when the good things happen for you. That's when the things start to open up for you. So hats off to him, and any other MLS actors and actresses out there who are just kind of taking their roles where they can, taking the ups and downs and lumps and whatever they go through and still persevere.
Oh yeah,
That's what I
most
say.
most definitely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah.
But
But yeah, man, I don't make content anymore really. And I hate I'm not too much older than you, Amar, but I've gotten to the point where you just tell yourself, let the young folks have it. Let them have it. Let them tell their story from this time frame in American history right now, at least for Americans. Let them tell it from their perspective, and they have the best tabs on how things are going on in their daily lives. And for people that haven't really lived a lot of life or whatever, they're still discovering things in the whole space as far as like life in general, but then they mix in the MLS perspective as well. So I say if they have a fresher way of looking at it, by all means, great for them. But yeah, my thing is that um that's just how it is going to be overall in these spaces, where it's probably best that if you do have opinions to kind of like have your own one to yourself, kind of like I don't know, just stick to a subject more than anything, and just stay vigilant in it, and you know stay I don't know, just stay to the idea of every MLS person has a different uh opinion, different way of being raised, different everything. So their opinion matters, and then just let it be their unique one without interfering, I guess,
Mhm.
is a thing in these type spaces. So you just learn as much as you can and listen. Yeah.
Well, what I try to do is I just try to stay in my lane and stay within my niche. Basically, what I do on my main channels, I talk about everyday issues that no one talks about. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and try to be respectful of everyone's point of view.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, you have certain individuals that are unable to engage in a logical way. And, I actually refer to that collective as the circus because they all act like a bunch of clowns.
Well, you might have to cut the circus short and don't allow them in your space. That's the only thing you can do. Just cut them short and keep the show going. They say one monkey don't stop a show, so you just got to cut them out and keep your stuff going. Minimize those interactions.
No,
Uh,
believe no, no, believe me. I've been fortunate. I have not had to ban too many people from my platform. There's been a couple I have to ban because basically the way they interacted with me or the way they interacted with people on the panel or on the chat. Because basically, look, this is how I do things. I'll let you speak your mind. Okay, I'll let you express your point of view. The only thing I ask is let's be mutually respectable. That's all.
yeah, yeah, that's true. Um, but yeah, Amar, what other topics have you been paying attention to? I've been mainly, man, just if I do take in any kind of content, it's usually general stuff, non MLS, or just on either YouTube or TikTok, long form, short form. So, what have you seen out there? Because I've seen I've seen kind of like I've seen kind of like the larger society as far as like the politics of how things the political spectrum in the country now, and how that relates to some of these topics. Is kind of like, in my opinion, some of the MLS topics are kind of not small, not petty, but just secondary. Like I
Yeah.
was saying in the chat, they're kind of really truly secondary, like offline, and in larger spaces. I don't even really see a lot of energy and effort towards these topics. It's almost like it only exists in certain sectors of social media. That's just what I've been seeing, and know, I don't know about you, but
Oh no, no, I get what you're saying.
yeah,
Um,
not trying to dead the situations or or the dynamics that occur, but yeah, I know as I've been away from the spaces, I see a lot of that more. Like people do speak truth to power, but it's kind of like I don't know. It's just like stepping. I don't know. It's kind of like it's real, but is it really something that's like crashing your life out or whatever, or having a serious impact on you? Like heavy, unless you happen to be in spaces where that is the case. Um, I don't know. I don't know. It's just weird, like being in the mix of a space, like heavily concentrated on one subject, one topic, and then not being in it for like shit years, basically, a couple,
oh
and then
yeah,
coming
yeah,
back, and it's like, and then you've been living life, or you've been like really living life in like a normal situation, and you just like you're not hyper fixated on something. And you're like, wow, like the rest of the world is just like worlding, it's just doing regular, just regular things or things that you were more common with before being in the spaces. So I don't know. That's just how I'm feeling right now. But yeah, MLS stuff is important. Um, it is. Um, it's just so uh nuanced. There's just so many factors that play in. It's just hard to put a finger on it unless you just do it from a perspective where it's just your unique opinion and you don't like do a lot of collabs, and you just put your stuff out and that's it. Maybe chit chat in the comment section here and there, and then keep that to a minimum and just keep pushing out content. So,
right,
but
right.
just to focus it just on that, I think a healthy mix is doing that plus other topics, which is
Yeah,
something that I don't think a lot of MLS content creators, even some of the ones I've seen come recently, like because they'll have like the topics, and then people get at them for it, and then they want to shut down, and then they'll come back or whatever. And it's like, yeah, because you just you got to mix in other topics and too, and keep your mind more so balanced on the rest of the world than just that one topic. Like that can drive you insane. Truth be
right.
told, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. I looked at it all. I felt like I've experienced it all from a what to say hindsight is 2020 type of
Yeah,
point of view. And yeah, that's what I see. It's like it's got to be a more mix of other things. I've seen it on TikTok too. Like I've seen people go hard on MLS conversations, or even some biracial conversations, and then they'll mix in like pop culture. They'll mix in um just general things, male female things, and it kind of helps them out. You'll notice that their view counts go up too when they don't just they're just not hyper focused on one thing. So you know.
oh yeah.
But anyway, I was just throwing out my thoughts. Just throwing out my thoughts. Nothing specific, but yeah.
Because for me, again, right before the new year, again, right before we transitioned into the new year, even I myself had to, again, think back and look out, how things sort of evolved in the way. Um, how you were when again how I was when I first came on the scene and what I could have did, what I did and didn't do, what I could have done to make things better, and then it was like, wow, I was more again, I was more focused on things happening outside of the internet more so than being on the internet, and I just treated it somewhat much as a hobby as I do now.
Yeah.
Um, but but then again, when again when I had my house fire that took place, that right there, even that too became a kind of traumatic.
When wait, I'm sorry. When did that happen? This happened this past holiday season?
Oh yeah, this happened. Oh yeah, this happened last year before Christmas, right
Oh
after right,
man.
right after Thanksgiving.
Ah, I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, so am I.
Yeah, I had no idea. And what's so weird about it is not too far from me on New Year's Day, I was out doing fireworks, and right around the corner from where I was at in the same neighborhood, somebody's house caught fire from fireworks or
Yeah,
from improper use of fireworks. And yeah, somebody their house was burned. I was watching it on video. So, but was it? Wow, man, dang,
yeah,
bro.
and
Yeah.
what it was. I was still sleeping, and this was like around 9:21 a.m. And I
Mm.
heard two loud explosions and or two loud bangs, and I'm thinking that it's probably the army base about a mile away from where I live, going through the natural drills.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can
Yeah,
pretty much hear that when people are
yeah,
shooting from short
and
distance away. Yeah.
and then my neighbor across the street came knocking on the door and was like, "There's a fire in the backyard. You and like who you or whoever's in the house need to get out." So I'm running out of there. My sister and her dog, you know, are running out. Then I'm looking in the backyard and I see that, oh man, like the shed then blew up, but
Wow.
the shed blew up, but then that smoke transitioned into the attic and did some
Wow.
ceiling and roof damage.
Dang. Did you have like a propane tank or something in the back?
It was more of a lithium battery.
Oh, okay. 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 I got you. I got you. Yeah.
But then again though, like I'm still trying to figure out because it was cold before. It was cold the day before. It was cold the day and the night before,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm thinking that it's like, okay, it's probably gonna be like tomorrow. It'll probably be a wet one of those wet rainy days because that's what we're accustomed to being up here in the Pacific Northwest.
Mm-hmm.
But then the sun came out, but it was still pretty chilly outside,
Yeah.
and I'm like, since when did I'm thinking, wow, since when did cold weather can spark, can spark in the flame, let alone
Mm.
cause a lithium battery.
Yeah. Was it a
That
change in the temp or something? Like a drastic change in the temp from that cold to warmer?
that may have been.
And the wetting of whatever battery it was and the age of it, and maybe it just kind of like sparked off based off of like a change in that temp that quickly, maybe overnight or something. I don't know, just throwing out stuff. I know I deal with lithium batteries at work, or I have dealt with them, and yeah, that can't happen. If the connections on one side are like corroded to a certain point and starts trying to leak through, and then that
Right.
gets out and it touches that water, yeah, it can set it on fire for
Yeah.
sure, for
Yeah, because
sure.
that was
So
like because that was like one of the investigators was even saying that it was due to a lithium battery and the temperature drastically switching up.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm, yeah. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, man. How you recouping from that? Is it livable, or you had to kind of like move around?
Yeah, like we was like, again, we was living in the well, I was living in the hotel for a couple of days up until a Airbnb um, rental came across our way, but we still have to like do some like repairs and repairs and such.
Yeah.
We decide before we have to move back, before we have to leave the Airbnb and move back in.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
Because
got
I
you.
because I even had there was a dude that I know, and I don't see him every day, but whenever I do, even he was telling me that he also experienced one, but then he showed me this the person that did it,
Hmm.
and this was a teenager, and I'm like, wow, like y'all didn't try to go after him or let alone if pursue any charges if y'all had to.
Wow, just let them walk. Or was
You know what, I may have, if I do, if I again, I don't want to get like feel like I'm putting all his stuff out because he just fell victim to that, and I don't know what he has set according to plan. Well, I just know is that, oh wow, but it's like who this dude is, and you showed me a picture of him, and just again the thought of somebody taking it upon themselves to set your house on fire is huh.
felonious?
Yeah.
You know,
You
that's the first word I can think of. You know, uh, I mean, that's worthy of a felony for sure. With people inside, yeah,
but yeah, and yeah, and it's just like, well, and again, and I didn't even think that I would even experience something called PTSD.
oh yeah,
It can happen, and particularly if it happens near the holidays.
Yeah, because I have been, well, again, I have known that people do tend to battle through PTSD or some form of depression or anxiety and all, and
Mhm.
yeah,
whatever floats their boat, but because again, you really don't. Again, it's like you try not to wish that on anybody, even if you really couldn't stand a person, because you start thinking that oh, you really off. Like there's times where you may have to get off your high horse for a bit
yeah,
because what happened to you, and then people. I mean, there was times where even when people would say that, oh, I couldn't imagine, and it's like, yeah, you couldn't imagine because you didn't go through it.
yeah.
I mean, I appreciate the concern and the your kind words, but still, it still don't change that. I lost a piece of me.
Yeah. A
True.
lot of that. Yeah, a lot of that. You know, a lot of that. You have to. People have to really go. They have to experience that in on their own terms to really get it. They're not gonna get it any other way. I mean, yeah, empathizing with people is nice, but if you don't go through it on your own and understand what that is, you wouldn't understand the the needed isolation that you need to even start beginning to recover. Like
Right.
being all up in somebody's face, is not something that people really need at a particular time all the time. Because I used to grow up thinking that that's what people needed. People come directly, oh, you this and that, and blah 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 blah. And then after the initial shock, the people, a little sparingly, giving help if at all. And long term, you kind of on your own on a lot of things. So, you know,
Yeah.
yeah.
And and I was also starting to think too that while it's like, am I somewhat in a way? I was like, I know I'm gifted, but at the same time, am I? Does that gift, sort of like comes in the matters of a curse?
Mm.
That like you could be having something going on and it's working
Uh-huh.
out real well for you, but then when something else happens or you get interrupted, it just messes up your entire your entire day or whatever that you have
It's
planned.
a
And
can it's a can't like a cancellation of something. Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, duality is real. So when it happens, I don't know. For me, you try your best to lean on the positives at a basic level. Like, well, I don't have this, but I have a place to stay, or I don't have this, but I have a way to get that, and you just kind of keep that in your mind frame until the other start other things that were taken start to build themselves back up or start to heal. You know, that's how I take it. You know,
yeah.
when things like that happen, I always have to try to focus on the smallest level of positivity that I have as a human where I'm at in life, and then build myself back up. But that's just me. It's hard to get there unless you have no. A lot of times you have no other alternative but to think that way. So to keep your mind off of
Well,
all the
the
losses.
the thing to bear in mind, is that everyone deals with adversity.
Say that
And
again.
some people can do. I said that we have to bear in mind that there, you know, there are different ways that people deal with adversity.
No, that's true. Some people go internal, some
Yeah,
people go external. Some people do things, build things, take new paths. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
And
look,
it's
it
and
all
it's
depends
never
how you're able to adapt.
Mm-mm. Is
and it's
Jose cutting off? Can you hear me, Amar?
oh yeah, I
I,
can hear you.
Okay.
I think there's a delay on my
Oh,
end.
okay. Okay.
I was just saying, it all depends on your ability to adapt to new situations.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that is true.
Hmm.
That is very 100% accurate, and I think some of us or majority does seem to forget that a lot of times, and and again it is never easy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, contrary to belief. Um,
Yeah. So you say you're back in your house right now?
not at the moment, but
Not at the moment.
think no, yeah, not at the moment.
Yeah. Man. Yeah. That's a doozy to be in, man. Like, yeah, that's a doozy to be. I know with my home down here when my hurricane just came, I had thank God I didn't have like structural damage. I had like fencing damage that's still down, part of it on one side of my house, but that's not a big deal at all. But yeah, I know yeah, man.
Yeah, it's but you know what though, but I had, but then again, it's like, well, hey, just, but then again, I had to also take in consideration that, well, hey, things can be replaced, but humans can't.
Yep.
Hmm.
Great mentality, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you say it, but you have to be. For me, I had to be in those situations to really feel the impact of that statement. You
Right.
know, it hits different when you actually in the midst of a situation like that. Because everything's stopping all at once. Like Jose said, the holidays bring that out more, and because everything's bright and shiny, and people trying to enjoy themselves or just enjoy each other or enjoy the moment. And when things break down like that at those points, everything is amplified a lot more and
Yeah.
more memorable too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Mm,
absolutely, absolutely.
yeah.
I mean, it's no coincidence that that the depressions, amount of depressed people being depressed go up between Thanksgiving and New Year's, and also the thoughts of self deletion.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because there's so much, in my opinion, so much going on with the idea of what you should be, or what family should be if you don't have it, or what a relationship should be if you don't have it. And so all these things, and it's such a big focal point on those other quote unquote social norms that people can lose themselves or what they do have in those times, looking on the other situations or other perspectives, based on what society's saying. So yeah, it can get tough.
Oh yeah, most
If you're alone or you don't fit that narrative.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, I appreciate that, y'all. Like
Yeah,
I
man. Anytime, bro. Anytime. Like, even though everything's been virtual, I mean, things hit people hard that I know. I definitely send my support to you, or anybody I did know that is actually going through something, like, because it's far and few people in between that even say words of encouragement a lot of times. Or even if even if they're physically around you, let alone people online. So
oh yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, and again, that's like, again, you have two different, again, and I look at that as like, again, either two different, two to three different families, one outside of virtual world, and then you also have the virtual world family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I mean, and again, and don't get me wrong, even when we do look at the ruckus that, like Carl, that you mentioned, old TikTok.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, like I'm not really on there that much.
Oh, that's my spot, man. I love
Yeah.
it. I love it, man. I can't believe I was on YouTube so long. That is the spot to let loose, rant. People are more receptive to more ideas. They're more receptive to what people say is taboo and stuff, and they just lay it out there. And it's real. It's honest. It's kind of like YouTube used to be, like, years ago, only in short form for the majority of it. But yeah, that's my spot now. I don't.
You know what? And I'm glad you also pointed that out too, because I probably should have, again, mentioned that, regarding the other topics, that I was still under the impression that they banned TikTok already.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Jose. Go ahead.
Okay, actually, no, okay, it was briefly banned, and the whole thing because supposedly they was afraid that the Chinese government was going to get access to all personal data. I mean, not like other companies get access to our personal data. So basically, that was a whole mess, and basically now you can download the app again, because for a while, even when TikTok came back, you couldn't download it if you have deleted it or you just bought a new phone. And actually, there were people that were paying thousands of dollars on eBay to buy smartphones with the app already on it.
Yep. And people went for it, which was wild.
And I still got my old account that I'm still, like, logged into, and again, I was posting some content, every now and then, as much as when I could get to it. But then, other than that, like, I mean, I may have had a couple messages, like, or bulletins letting me know, hey, this could go away soon. I'm like, yeah, I already know. Like, you don't have to tell me twice. But then after a while, I never heard anything else about it. People were still making content or posting, and I'm still, stuck in Stone Age. What's going on? You said you banned it. But then it's like, in a way you did, but at the same time you didn't. So it's like a half truth.
Yeah. Now that I heard, I can't super confirm, but I heard that the US version of TikTok, like, a ByteDance company itself here. Like 60% of it is owned by like BlackRock now, something like that.
Yeah.
That's why they brought it back, and Trump had a hand in it. I can believe that. I can believe that for sure, because the fact that the notification said that President Trump had a hand in bringing it back, yeah, it kind of didn't go together for me. So I was like, yeah, whatever. Uh, as long as
Hey,
it's back,
but
whatever.
Carl, let me say this though. If y'all again, if you really want to see some effery, go to that Twitter.
Yeah, yeah.
But before he started praising Trump for saving TikTok, he was the one that originally was against the app during his first administration.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, that was what, from 2016 to 2020. I wasn't nowhere near being on there at all. I was in YouTube land.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I was definitely in YouTube land. But yeah, I could see that. But it had morphed though. It was like there's two versions of it from what I'm hearing. There's pre-COVID and there's after COVID. That's the two versions of TikTok. Like the first one's up until even the COVID era was different. But I guess about maybe what 2021 ish, 22, it just things started changing. I hopped on like 2023. So maybe close to 2 years of being on there now. But yeah, it was two different versions of it. So that earlier version, it was probably better than what it is now. But
Oh
Well,
yeah.
um, the, the only content I do now on TikTok is basically it's either funny shorts or motivational shorts.
yeah, or just general knowledge sorts, or just
Yep.
people, yeah, stuff like that. So I find it much more entertaining, much more random, like random stuff. Yeah, FYP. I like that idea. Just random stuff that you may not even think you're interested in, you become interested in just off the top. You don't get stuck on the same thing if you don't want to. Yeah.
Mhm.
So.
Yeah, but then again though, and having said all that, again, it's like when you doing content, in general, like whether if it's YouTube, TikTok, or where any social media platform there is. I mean, even on TikTok, it's like when you when you do certain content or you speak on certain issues that you really feel strongly about. Um, it's like you never. It's like the storm will come for you, very
Mhm.
fast. So fierce.
Yeah.
And whereas what YouTube, because YouTube lacks that protection security
Hmm.
in comparisons to others. And even if you were to do something that was like, hey, this is not necessarily meant to be taken serious, but you're reacting to it, you're reacting to it
Yeah.
just simply because you stand because simply because you stand out and you don't like it.
Yeah. Yeah. I got you. Yeah.
I'm like, if that's, I'm like, now again, I don't know if TikTok has ever gotten to the point that there have been posts and somebody that wrote a comment was like, oh, I'll do this to you, blah, blah, blah. And they stuff immediately gets terminated or flagged.
No, that's a well. Nah, I will say this is it's really more so getting doxxed. That's the key to it all, because it won't be TikTok that'll get you. It'll be the TikTok invest. I mean the private eyes on there that'll find you, put everything about you out there, and just totally dox you, and just put you on blast, and then next thing you know, account is gone, deleted, privated, comment gone, and they are like bloodhounds. They're like, they sniff things out like bloodhounds and they destroy. So that's what I've seen. I'm like, damn, they got them up out of there that
Yeah.
fast. Yeah, for
Mhm.
sure. Yeah,
Cause
but
I'm because again, like if it wasn't necessarily, again, like what we talk about, of course, there's of course interracial marriages, relationships, dating,
Mm-hmm.
vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if it isn't one thing, it was gonna be something else, and and then again you just start wonder because, but then again, I also view it from the standpoint is, you know what, a lot of people in a way sort of get exposed for how they really feel about certain
They
things.
do. They do. They do.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you would think people would understand about digital footprints and stuff, but now things do change over time. People tend to not hold on to things forever because it gets old, it gets dated. Whenever you, if something like that does happen, people do move on. But in that instant, yeah, everything can just literally fall apart for people, you know. But you would think they would understand and know that even the smallest little comments will be blown up and you know docs and all kind of things. So and then they don't even worry about the back and forth too long for a lot of people. The back
Yeah,
you don't even get to the back and forth. It's just immediate docs.
right. It's like it's like yeah, it's like yeah, you want to go back and forth because that's where the, like, again, controversy drama sells.
Yeah, the engagement. Yeah.
Yeah,
Now some people do fish for that. They do fish for that. It's still the same as YouTube. It's just you're gonna have a lot more random people instead of just some few targeted people that usually go one head to head, and like just all kinds of random people pop up to try to do that on there. Yeah.
yeah, because I was like, because you would think that again, some of them old characters that was here before, they probably would have made their way on down to TikTok and
Well, I've seen quite a few people from YouTube on there. But it just don't hit the same, you know. It just their short form content and what they're trying to say. It just that it's not the same. It doesn't have the same impact as like a YouTube.
yeah.
What they're trying to do that is that they were successful on YouTube. Sometimes it just doesn't hit the same. You literally can scroll away after a few seconds if you don't get really engaged in something like instantly, you know. So
Well, I think one thing I notice when I do the shorts, when I do it when it gets placed on TikTok, I think the best. I mean, I might get maybe 200 views or
yeah.
maybe 250 views. While
Hmm.
on YouTube, I mean, I've gotten shorts that have gotten like over 5,000 views.
Yeah. I've had a couple thousand for both for YouTube recently, as well as depending on what I'm posting and how I post it, how I label it, as well as TikTok. Get a couple thousand or whatever. That's not uncommon. I just think the algorithm, what you're putting out, matters a lot. But yeah,
Yeah.
So I'm like, hell, it may have to get to the point to where I may have to, probably venture back on the TikTok more now than what I was doing.
yeah. As long as they're still monetizing, yeah, it's definitely a good time.
Yeah.
But I,
But you know something. Most of the subs I've gotten through my shorts.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true. You talking about YouTube? That is right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Because people are looking for that same type of content over and over and over. So in the short form. So
yeah, I've had people tell me too that they've also gotten more viewership and more subscribers basically off of shorts as well.
yeah,
And it could just be like it could just be whether if they're dance videos or some type of comedy act.
yeah, yeah.
And I started wondering, hell, if I was really that tech savvy, what type of comedy act will I pull off to
Yeah.
get to get that hey, to get that many subs and viewership?
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I don't know. I don't know if you want to go to depends on the genre you're trying to the people you're trying to reach. Do you want to go like slapstick? Do you want to go like a story, a theme to what you're doing? Do you want to go brain rot style? Like
Well,
where
hey, well, Carl, you know that I can do everybody knows that I can do impersonations.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Good ones too, man. Good ones. Those are good. Those are good times, man. Good times. Yep.
Oh man, I was binge watching the video that I did before, and where I did an impersonation. Now it wasn't terrible, just whoever I was doing it of at the time, and I just couldn't believe I was really that ruthless.
Yeah, that's some good times, man.
Right.
I remember one stream I did. It lasted almost 5 hours, and for me, that's like a marathon because basically most of my streams are like from 1 to 2 hours.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think I may have gone. Shoot, have I gone that long? I may have gone at the most been, and it's probably hadn't been mine, but my own personal one probably haven't gone any more than 2.5 to 3 hours, maybe three at the most, maybe. I just don't have that much to talk about for that long. Not myself, and maybe not even amongst a couple people. Like, nah, it's too much more things to take care of and do.
Yeah, I probably well, you know what? The last stream that I did, I didn't even realize that it lasted about 8 hours, 8 to 9. I was like, what? Well, we're not gonna really get into that, but I'm pretty sure you know the stream that I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that I was on there for that long because I was trying to end it a lot sooner because I was tired and I had to get up and I said, you know what, never again.
Yeah, man. Nowadays, honestly, I don't have that time anymore. I'm trying to figure out how I had that much time before versus right now in my life. Like I don't have that time at all. Yeah, so I'll be bad off and everything else. So
Well, yeah, and you know what, and I think was it like I said, for some, I think was it like President's Day tomorrow or
yeah, I'm off, thank God.
Mm.
Yeah.
So am I.
Yeah, great. Yeah. One of the few holidays I get off because my job we don't have MLK Day off, so this is the makeup for it.
Hey,
Yeah.
take what you can get out of it.
Take what you can get, exactly, man. Exactly.
Well, 2 days out of the week, I work remotely from home.
Oh, sweet. That's cool.
So basically, I could just log on, just wearing my sweats, and be comfortable that way and do what I have to do.
Oh, okay. Yeah, hybrid is cool.
Hmm.
Oh, come on. Somebody said, oh, no, somebody else made the same type of statement before and was using it for bragging purposes. It's like, hey, whatever floats your boat, we're happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think I'm the first one that actually coined the phrase. I don't care.
Oh, man. Hey, but nah, though, but this weekend I did have some gumbo.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But, the only thing that sucks is that I can't have shrimp with it because I'm allergic.
Yep, same here. Same here. I'm allergic to it too.
Oh,
Yeah, I can't have it in there. Went to a sushi place recently, couldn't have any of it.
Oh.
None of it. Now I had to stick to the American food. So,
It's like, oh, like, well, you can't. It's like, I'm allergic to
but
shellfish.
yeah, yep, exactly, man.
Mhm.
But I guess I done gave somebody some ammunition already. Oh yeah, we're gonna use seafood to like add hair. Very funny.
Well, one content creator made light of the fact that on one street I actually cursed out a Zacharias.
Sorry, y'all. Hey, all this stuff is just comedic relief for me.
I hear you, man.
I
Yeah,
mean, but you know what's but you know what's funny? You know what's funny?
Yeah.
He talked about how he was never going to try to appear on my platform. He said that, one night, the following day, guess what he was trying to do? He was trying to hop on my platform.
Mr. Everyone's Witch.
I mean, look, you would think that, okay, you know what? Okay, you know what? You would think that you will have practice some common sense and not go when you're not wanted.
Yeah. Couldn't be said, easy said than done. But some people make it harder than what it has to be. And no one is like, it's not like you're being held at gunpoint or held against your will to appear on somebody's platform. Either you show up or you don't. And
Yeah.
but it's like, hey, guess that's just again the power that the virtual world will give you. You can be and do anything you want.
yeah.
But I gotta admit, I did had some fun. I did had some fun about it though.
Hey, but nah, though, but Jose, but you also tell some good stories too. That even I had to laugh at that. Like, and shout outs to Miss Denise. Where I guess it was your the church gathering story.
Oh, you mean about the fact that I lost my virginity in a church trip?
Yeah.
Well, you gotta admit that's a unique way of losing your virginity. Would you think?
Yeah. And then it was all like, you were supposed to be connecting with the Lord, not with each other. And I'm in the background laughing. I'm like, hey, y'all, just so y'all know, that was Miss Denise that said it. Hey, shout outs to her. But I can't help but to laugh at certain things, even if it's funny.
Well, I remember on one of multi lives, I was talking about that I went to a very fancy banquet, and that there was this lady that looked like she was like 1,000 years old, and she looked like she was dressed more to go clubbing than to go to a formal banquet. And then she actually had the nerve to ask me for my opinion what she looked like. So I said to her, "Well, I'm not gonna lie, but you can dress any way you like. It's just that if I were you, I would not dress like in that way. You have to see it for yourself. She was wearing this very skimpy mini skirt with boots on, so it looked like she was going clubbing. Now, if you're young in your 20s or 30s or even your 40s, you can get away with doing something like that. But once you get into your 60s and your 70s, yeah,
Well, again, yeah, because again, like, because where I live, you would be surprised, like, like the stuff that some of these folks wear, um, and they try to not get whatever floats their boats, but you just know that, and I'm not one to, like I said, I don't want to throw too many stones, but just know that, but there's just certain things that may not necessarily be in your caliber.
Yeah.
Again,
Like
I
I
would.
said, yeah, like I said, if you was in your 20s or your 30s or even your 40s, you can get away with wearing a skimpy outfit and looking cute. But when you get to your 60s, it doesn't look cute.
Yeah, oh
And
my.
then at the same night, it was one person that had like a couple drinks too many, so she got smashed, and then we got on a cab, and then she started to throw up in the back seat, and I was like, you don't know how thankful I was
Oh
to be
yeah,
sitting in the front seat.
yes. Especially if you throwing up after having too much liquor that you couldn't hold.
Yeah,
But there you go.
I mean, look,
That's
yeah, of course, meeting my ex-wife for the first time, that was a unique situation. It's like she wanted me this wanted to smash right away. So it's like, can I get to know you first before we start talking about smashing?
hey, there's no hey.
Because the way, yeah, see the
There's
way I
never
see
nothing
it,
wrong with that.
yeah. But the thing is this: if you're that quick to give up the kitty cat to me, maybe you got quick to give it up to other guys as well.
9 times out of 10.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not going. I'm not. I mean, hey, I'm not. I did not go to the DR to get an STD or whatever, or I don't know.
Hey, but you know what though? Like, now I don't know how accurate this is, but there have been reports that certain men are getting burned over there sexually,
Yeah.
and I was like, damn, is that true? Like, especially I think they reported 84,000.
Okay, when you mean burn, I mean coming down with an STD or actually being set on fire.
Oh, with SCD.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised because look, let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. You have some of these dudes that go to the DR to score, okay, and then they don't even bother to use protection. So you're gonna go far from home, and you're gonna deal with some chick that you don't know anything about, and you're gonna hit the box raw. It's like, first of all, not only can you get an STD, but guess what? You can get someone pregnant.
Oh yeah, but again, everybody want to. But again, everybody don't think the common, again, don't use the common sense thinking anymore. That they just in it for a quick smash and dash, and they calling it a day.
Yeah, that's why I call my program Uncommon Sense.
and because I'm like, because again, and I wonder, it's like, which is why get advocate. Get people. Make sure you go get tested before you do anything. Um, do anything rash.
Yes. Because you might come home with something that you don't want to get.
Nope. Yeah, that is true.
Okay. I mean, look, at the time she was my girlfriend. So I just wanted to get to know her. So for me to start going that way when we first met, that's not a good thing.
Right. Oh, you can go ahead.
No, no, but this is the thing. I wanted to get you see. Okay, I know I'm a little old fashioned, but I want to get to know you first before even thinking about smashing.
Nah, yeah, again, I have that mindset as well.
Yeah,
But because people think that because I'm because again, yes, I am a millennial, but they think that millennials should be thinking the way that gen Gen Zers should be thinking. It's like no, not the case. I'm like, yeah, we're not necessarily that far off in terms of generation. I mean, the way we are, but in age, yes, but generation is like, nah, like because half of them, I guarantee you, if you were to ask somebody that was born in the year 2000, if they even know how to operate a VCR, I don't know that many hands will be raised.
yeah. I mean, look, it's a different generation altogether. Okay, I
Mhm.
mean, look, I knew of a person that went out to a social function. The person had like a couple of drinks too many. Okay, and then and then he got involved with someone of the opposite sex, and next thing you know it, they engaged in some outdoor activity, and the person became a father.
Wow.
Yeah,
And so they
because
ever find that?
unfortunately, yeah, because unfortunately they was using the wrong head, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I do. And it ain't the one on top.
Nope, nope.
Oh man, this is again, like again, these stories is like in a way, it's like
Yeah.
it's like
Well,
but go ahead.
well, the year before last, like around Christmas time, I met this lady. She's like in her 40s. So I was eating in Olive Garden. So, she was sitting in the next table. So I decided to have a conversation. So then I gave her my telephone number. And then we start calling. And it's like the next thing talking about, oh, when you come over, we're going to make love. We're going to do this and we're going to do that. It's like, excuse me. Can I get to know you first before we even go there? And I had to block her for a while because she was giving me like fatal attraction vibes.
What? Fatal Attraction vibes.
Yeah.
Not you, Theo Jose Negron. Like that.
I mean, she's talking about some of the sexual stuff she wanted to do, and it's like, no.
Ooh, no, excuse me.
No.
And I know that yeah, it's like the so then she kind of like give off that nobody never says no to me or kind of thing.
I mean, first of all, it's like, well, when we gonna hit, when we gonna hook up, and it's like, hook up, really, really, really.
It's
I
like,
mean, yeah. Look, I said, I know I'm a bit old fashioned, but no, I am not planning to meet some female just with the purpose of smashing on the first date. No, no, no. If you want to do that, go ahead, knock yourself off, but at least use some protection.
yeah, to each his own.
Yeah, whatever floats your boat.
But yeah, though, but also I did say that I was also gonna get share something using screen share. Then after this, I probably may end up calling this one a night. So just give me a sec.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if this works.
Yeah, it could, believe me, I get it. It could be a challenge if you haven't done it for a while.
Yeah, and because like I said, I was never really playing around with the other tabs either that much.
Hmm.
Hmm. Okay, y'all can see that.
Yes.
Oh yeah, so this was because this was also gonna again what I probably wanted to talk about earlier regarding certain issues on one of my main topics here. And this here is one of my brokerage accounts.
Okay.
And,
I would be careful with you about
yeah.
airing such documentation because we do
Oh
live in an
yeah.
age where
Yeah.
people love the stuff, and I already know people that have been docs real
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah. Now.
And I'm not going to mention any names, but I think you know who I'm talking about.
Oh yeah. I do.
Yeah. But this is how I see things. There's certain individuals, either you love them or you hate them. There is no in between.
Right.
Okay. So you have certain individuals, some people they love and some people they can't stand.
Oh yeah. 100. Oh, 100%.
Okay.
100%.
Yeah. To the extent that they talk nonstop about these individuals, talking about and highlight some of their mistakes, so to speak.
Oh yeah, to try to make you to try to make you look bad, try to humiliate you in the sense of, yeah, you remember what you did, you got made a fool of, or I made a fool out of you, blah say blah.
Or they had one drink too many a couple of times.
Yeah, it's like they'll never let you live your not so necessarily your best. Like they still want to remember like how you behaved or how you carried yourself, as if they have the moral high ground of how to make yourself the most valuable person in the world. And it's like, no one gave you the again, it's like no one gave you the honor of doing such, when yet all you're doing is putting out people's personal things that's not necessarily meant for you to do.
Yeah. And then when you make false accusations and you involve local government affiliations involved, that makes it even worse.
And you know it though, but see, and here's the thing too. It's like we come on social media, right? And
Mhm.
whatever content you and I or anyone else does or posts, I mean, it's for anybody that really knows what's going on. It's like we're the most, or we try to present ourselves as the most harmless people around, but because of these people are just looking for anything that they can get their hands on to try to make you out to be the villain,
Yeah.
then then again, it's like they really have no leg to stand on aside for their emotions getting in the way.
Well, let me just give you a rundown of the accusations that have been made about me. I'm racist. I'm a senile. I have an STD. I'm gay. I'm lonely. I'm broke. No one loves me. Okay. Let's see what else. And I'm a loathing, self hating white Latino.
Damn, they had to put the emphasis on the white Latino, didn't they?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like the emphasis.
Yeah, which is like, first of all, Latinos, okay, we are a mixture of three different cultures, okay, but I guess some people didn't get the memo about that. And then I do someone decided to include me in some sort of the ish with one YouTube creator, so I decided to voice my opinion. So I did a 15-minute stream, which basically I said to her, and I just used, give this person some friendly advice. All of a sudden, that person does two streams about me, how I'm supposed to be racist, and how that I'm a tether in the black community, and it's all that. It's like, well, obviously you don't see my content because I mean, I think I'm one of the least problematic characters here on
Yeah,
the
it's like
show.
they don't. Yeah, it's like they don't watch your It's like they don't watch your content, but yet they form an opinion about you anyway, without
Yeah.
really without you. Yeah, yeah, and you know what though, and I've I guess they feel like again like they don't have to, and then it's like, well, if I'm like, okay, well, if someone's racist, like, can you at least point out what they did or what they said that gives you that impression? Because if you don't have it, then you're just throwing out the race card. Now, I'm not saying that again, like the race card shouldn't really be thrown out there if you really standing on merit. But at the end of the day, just for the sake of you being over here in the space that because they may have had a problem with people like me or anyone else in this space, then that pretty much turns into something that's it turns into something, and it really just it's like they want to have a moment. It's like they somewhat want somebody's momentum to be
Yeah.
slowed down or pretty much delayed.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to add, they wanted me to be fired from my job.
Oh wow! Now again, that right there, I have a thing. It's like you could say or do whatever you want to somebody, but if you have to go to to such lengths to try to like, take bread off another man or woman's table, you stepping over the boundaries. I hate to
Yeah,
say it, but that's what you're doing.
yeah.
But yeah, if the situation was done to you done to you, oh, you'd be crying and garnishing all kinds of sympathy.
Yeah.
And my thing, and again, the thing is, now I don't know if again, if you ever put out, again, well, if you ever really put out what you did, for a living as such, or even if you have other forms of social media, because I know on Facebook, some people do that where they'll put where they actually do and where they work, and if people found that out, they'll be so quick to call that company.
Well, you
It's
see, one thing I don't do is I don't talk about my employer.
hmm
I don't share that. Okay. Because we're living in the age where people will dox over the silliest things. Okay. So, but basically, the only thing they have against me is that I actually curse out a Zacharias once.
and I guess they didn't like that. Didn't like that at all.
Yeah. But I did a stream like about 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Shout out to the fathers, where I made light of what, because he was the one that started making the accusations that I was racist. But yet he never produced any evidence to substantiate his claim. So then we decided to you know make fun of him, and apparently he didn't take it too well. And I'll say that it was the shortest time that anyone that appeared on my platform. Now, let me ask you this question: Would you try to enter a platform you knowing that you are, that you have ticked off the creator, and that you have someone that's on the panel who doesn't like you at all? Will you try to hop on the panel?
No.
Well, Sakurai decided to do that. And he was dealt with appropriately. He was removed.
But though, but see, here's the thing. Like I saw him like I think what was it? The last time I saw him where he was coming at you um in a sense of like, well, you said you do this, but yet you didn't address this over here, kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, you know what? And this is the thing. First of all, what he failed to understand was the following: if you come on my platform in a respectful way, you're going to gain entrance access, and that's something he couldn't understand, and he couldn't fathom that.
Right.
Okay. And basically, when it comes to dealing with my ops, I don't talk about. I don't. You see, I don't. I don't engage in that. I don't engage in that activity. Okay. I'll use general terms referring to the collective as the circus, but rarely do I address any op directly. In fact, if I don't, I think I might have done it maybe once, and that's about it. And I've been on these YouTube streets for almost 3 years. No correction, 3, 4 years, whatever. So, uh, and my point, and And I made it perfectly clear to him, but he just decided to go on his narrative.
Mm-hmm.
Now I get it. The man has mental issues. And you have some sort of mental trauma that he has needs to deal with. But still, I'm going to hold you accountable for your actions.
Right. Fair assessment.
Okay. And ever since then, he's been permanently banned from my platform.
And he ain't never tried. And since
No,
he's been banned,
no. Now, in all fairness, and I don't like talking about a person that's not here. This is not the first time that he appeared on other platforms when he was not exactly, receive a warm, fuzzy welcome.
right?
Okay, but then again, that was his prerogative. Okay, and this is the thing: you're talking about individuals that you have issues with. My question is, why are you hopping on platforms when you know that there are individuals that you have issues with? That doesn't make any sense. But then again, that's why I call uncommon sense.
Yeah, as what your channel name is, Uncommon Sense Pro.
Yeah. And I think it fits because look, I just talk about stuff that no one really talks about, and it's everyday issues.
Yeah,
Okay, okay. Now, grant you, it's not going to get a huge number of views and what have you, but I've done something right because I've been doing this for almost 4 years, and I've gotten close to 520 subs.
that's pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd say so myself.
and that's without going ghetto, attacking people, just producing content every week.
But and you know what though, and here's also again another thing too is we have a lot of waves coming in um, that if again and it's not necessarily just people behind the channels, but just what they put out. You can sort of do responses to that, maybe not to them, and then even when you do responses to the content, then and you don't meet and again and you don't really try to step on anyone's toes, like
Mhm.
the feelings easily get hurt.
Yeah.
Now again, I'm a sportsman myself, and even when you watch ESPN or Fox Sports or whatever it is, I mean, even athletes or retired athletes have now gotten into podcasting. They may address certain people, and then they may address certain issues without all the hyperboles.
Hmm.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
but and again, and I've even heard people say that well, I would never do that again because they actually tried to sue me,
Hmm.
and I'm like really so. You really, I'm like, and you're wasting everybody's time and money, including the courts or whatever form branch of government that they have to go under a jury or juror, that is, to just to make a point.
Mhm.
Because I was on I think I remember being somewhere and this dude just came out of nowhere saying that he was gonna file charges on everybody, and it was like we didn't really I didn't say nothing about him. I'm like,
Really?
yeah, yeah, because he had some stuff being said about him, and he took and instead of handling it accordingly and appropriately, he took it out on us and said, "Oh, I'm gonna sue you." Well, not me, but just maybe not just me, but anybody that was around. And so we kind of laughed at that because I'm like, do you not know that how much information or how much access to people's names and stuff that you need in order to get this so-called pseudo lawsuit to bring up on the judge, knowing that they will laugh, that the judge and whoever it is that's in the court will probably laugh that off and say dismiss. So you don't have a case.
Yeah.
Oh, because you don't like what was being said or people talking about you. Well, guess what? Hell, people talk about me. Now, it would be easy for me if I went on ahead and filed charges, but I'm not.
Well, what gets to be interesting is that sometimes the people in the chat or on the panel where some of my mods or may have issues with, and what they have to understand is, again, as long as you're being cordial, respectful, you will be allowed access to the panel.
Right.
Okay. But I guess some people, they don't understand that concept.
Well, yeah, and then you get, this bombard. I'm gonna bombard the panel. I'm gonna ambush, and that sort of puts you in a precarious position.
Yeah. I mean, do you recall the falling out that happened with the Owl Show with Gigi and Multi years ago?
Yeah.
Well, there was a situation where both the Owl Show and Gigi was on the same panel. So it's like you're talking all this whatever, but yet you're sharing the same panel with the person. And unfortunately, I was experiencing some technical difficulties, so I really couldn't intervene, to try to put the kibosh on all that crap.
And and even that too, again, like the and I'm pretty sure that again, even with that, because again, as you stated, again, you try to make it, sort of a all is welcome until you step over the line, and you gotta go. I get that part, but then with the technical issues and all, again, happens to us all.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Again, and if there was a way that again, if the technical difficulties not have gotten out of hand and you wanted to control it, the way it probably should have been, then it would have never went down like that.
Yeah.
Which I know that you probably wasn't expecting
Yeah.
expecting that form of it either.
Yeah. And look, and then and this is the thing that this is the thing which is I'm disappointed with. Okay. You have a beef with someone for whatever reason. The mature thing to do is try to have a conversation offline and see if the issue can be resolved. And if it cannot be resolved, then guess what? You both of you go your separate ways.
Right.
Okay. That would be the mature thing to do. So what he does instead of doing that, he goes on another platform and he starts talking about, and he's saying, contradictory terms regarding someone that supposedly he got along with.
Right.
Okay. And then talking about, oh, you were fired. That the content creators fired you. And it's like, wow, I'm a content creator. I don't recall firing Gigi and Multi. And I have other content creators that have interacted with those two ladies, and they never fired them as well.
Yeah, I'm starting to get the and it's like, to me, that's like, again, the whether the trolls are just trying to like trying to manufacture stuff that there's not even Saint Elephant, like in in the sense, like just really fishing and and doing this heavy overreaching on stuff that they want to make it out to be true, and because they know, because of the connection that you and her have.
And look, and like I said before, I mean, you have a beef. I get it. Try to resolve it or just go your separate ways.
Right.
And then they still be talking about the incident 2 years after the fact. Really?
Yeah, though, and that right there, I definitely get that. Again, like certain people, yeah, they do need, again, if it's been 2 years and it hasn't really gone anywhere, then you know what, it would be your safe and your best bet just to not even make it really a priority anymore. Because all you're doing is just really hurting yourself and your mental state.
Yeah.
And that's why I've always been keen on, people using their rationality versus their irrationality. I mean, I've been guilty before of going out of my character once, and I hated it.
We all have done it. We're
Yeah.
all done it. We're all done it. And but you see, the difference with us, we are able to use some of that gray matter that God gave us to try to rationalize and to think logically.
Mhm.
Not everyone is at that state.
Yeah.
But I'll say this: I have had some interesting characters that appeared on my platform and in my chat.
Oh man, these characters.
Yeah. But
Right, and I probably might, again, even if I say that, again, they probably gonna come over here and start blaming me for And I'm like, hey, people, I don't know you. Well, characters is hard. Hell, he could be talking about Daffy Duck.
Or
If he's
Tweety Bird. I mean,
or Bugs Bunny.
I mean,
Like, how you know he ain't talking about them?
yeah.
But yeah, though. Hey, but yeah, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night. I just figured I just, sort of do sort of a little shake off some ring rust, because I don't really make content like that. Well, not the way like I used to anyway. That's if I'm not busy. And
Well,
Jose,
like I said before, I mean, we actually have lives outside YouTube, so therefore, it's not always easy. I mean, people think, oh, it's easy, just open up stream one and start to talk your hell. No, I mean, you have to think about what you're going to talk about. You have to think about your content, and then you may have to do some research so you can talk and sound somewhat intelligent. But in any case, thank you for allowing me on your platform. And of course, you're more than welcome to hop on my platform whenever you are available. And with that being said, thank you very much, and good night. And good night to the people watching from the clouds.
oh yes, good night. And also Carl, bro, thank you, man. It's all you always you always know you more than welcome. And everybody in the chat, don't know when I'm gonna do it.
So take
Don't
care.
Yeah, take care, and hopefully y'all see me again soon. All right then, y'all. Good night.